Hello there, my name is Jennifer Morales, and today I will be talking to you about the housing affordability crisis in Fullerton and in Orange County. Starting off with the current about monthly wage being pretty low, despite not being directly related to the housing crisis, the cost to live is currently very high, and so having unsustainable jobs with unsustainable wages, despite being a job, thankfully, is still unfortunately not enough to make things meet in the housing crisis for those who are looking to live in Orange County or Fullerton. So to break that down, as of January 1st of 2025, the about minimum wage is 16.50 per hour. And if we were to work about 40 hours a week, it would be still not enough to sustain. So basically meaning that in order to live in Orange County, you would either need to have more than one job or have the help of somebody else to help sustain you as well, or for having difficulty in finding a place to live with a reasonable amount of rent. So despite the lack of supply of affordable housing in Fullerton, there are some improvements. But despite the affordable housing that has been created, if you take a look at the numbers, it's still not really affordable. And so, talking about the process of creating affordable housing can be a little bit tricky. As for it is an incremental process. So it starts off in the Planning Commission, in which policies for housing and zoning requirements are reviewed, and then they are then sent to City Council for either a approval or not approval. And so, in doing so, unfortunately, a lot of projects are either not continued or displaced, and or either stopped. And so, it's really vital for the community to put input as well. So, being present in these planning commissions and these city council meetings is very important to voice our opinions in order for change to be made. So, talking about the structure of the policy for affordable housing comes from the housing element depending on the city. And so, talking about the housing element in Fullerton, as of the news and as of recently, it's actually failed its housing requirement and is currently in litigation for that reason of failing to create sustainable housing and affordable housing. And so just recently they made some improvements on Commonwealth, but despite that, that's still not enough to create affordable housing. So as we've seen that, unfortunately, the city of Fullerton has not been able to creatively or urgently help those in need. And unfortunately, the Board of Supervisors of Orange County just recently moved to criminalize housing. So that makes it a much harder to for those individuals that are being unhoused at the moment to find housing, and if it really does displace our communities as well. So talking about another problem as well is that the developers for these housing initiatives are very tricky, to say the least. Not only with relationships, but the price and also the availability. Unfortunately, we've seen a track record of developers or those who are wanting to be developers take the funding for developing, but then unfortunately not creating enough housing for that for a group of affordable housing. They after a couple years they put it back to market rate, and so that's unstable for a lot of individuals. So a lot of these buildings go unhoused. So it's very it's a tricky situation. But despite that, it's really important to create out of the box strategies, such as for Barrio Civic Center Housing Corporation. They were able to create housing for individuals that needed help, and also the Santa Barbara County Housing has utilized specific developments and specific zoning for creating affordable housing. And so it really is important for us as a community to show up to these policy planning commissions and also the city council meetings, but also to fight in the state and federal level. And so what you can do is you can also not only attend these meetings, but also communicate to your leaders, your elected leaders, via phone and via um, email, or also regular mail as well. So I highly encourage you to do that as well. Overall, altogether, as a student, low income, and also a future resident of California, it is really important for all of us to work together in asking our representatives to create this funding. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.